You obviously can't use age gender, partly because you're not doing a panel, it's a census. How can a client talk to an agency in terms of the common language of ad sales?
Good question. Well, Uyala doesn't track age, gender, other more personally identifiable types of information. Uh, what we do provide is the ability for our publishers to provide categorizations of their users as part of the playback experience. So if a publisher knows gender and age of a user, they can provide that data to Uyala's analytics system, and we'll take the aggregate data and report on that. So for example, we have publishers who are able to pass through gender information, and then we can provide reports as far as how many men versus women are consuming any individual piece of content. Moreover, we can help demonstrate the engagement rates and the trends of each gender or each age group independently. We also are able to track down to the DMA or even city level. So we can, for advertisers, actually provide really specific analytics on a per video, per day basis as far as the overall reach in every DMA around the country.
So is it possible to fuse or match your data with like Nielsen data to provide a more cross-platform 360-degree view of media consumption?
It is, and we have a number of publishers that are taking this strategy. We're finding that this is becoming a more common approach, largely as online video is growing. 3 years ago, when online video was 1 or 2% of overall video consumption, most people didn't really spend a lot of time looking at this 360 view. But based on more recent growth in the industry, according to ComScore, online video is now nearly 10% of all video consumption in the United States. This becomes a pretty significant piece of the overall pie and is growing very quickly. And so we're finding a lot of Uyala's publishers are taking a more holistic approach to both ad sales and their entire video strategy.
Tell me about what you found in VideoMind, your study.
Right, so what we've been able to do is cull the large amounts of analytics data that we collect across all of Uyala's publishers. And we're able to find really significant learnings in how our content publishers are distributing their content, the consumption patterns globally across users, as well as how well they're monetizing their content. I think one of the really good lessons that we've extracted from this analysis is different forms of content are optimized and optimal for different screens. And I think this is a really key component of ultimately Uyala's strategy, which is it isn't just about personalizing to each and every user. It's also about personalizing to each and every screen. The type of content I want to view on a phone is going to be very different from the type of content I want to view on a TV. There's a bias towards short form versus long form content, a lean forward versus a lean back consumption model. And this is one of the large initiatives Uyala's working with our publishers on, is ultimately personalizing for each and every screen. Going back to Uyala Discovery, that's one of the fundamental goals, is when I'm on my phone, we'll recommend very different content to you than when I'm on my TV. There are different consumption patterns. People are watching fundamentally different pieces of content, always some overlap, but also very distinct consumption sets. And the ability to personalize and optimize for each one of those devices is a very key component of how we ultimately optimize revenue for our customers.